Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tuttle Up Stamping. My name is Judy Tuttle. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm happy to be with you here today. We have some super cute gingerbread man cards for this whole week. This is our craft-along week, so some of my customers got kits in the mail early last week so that they could craft along with me. And some are coming in person after Thanksgiving this week to make these cards with me in person. So I can't wait to show you these. The Gingerbread Man bundle has been a huge seller this year. It was one of my favorites as soon as I saw it in the holiday mini catalog. And I'm glad that I can finally craft along with you here and show you our fabulous cards. I think me and my team have done a great job of creating some cards that aren't over the top too hard. A couple of them have a lot of die cuts, but they're simple to cut and then simple to put together. So first of all, let's go over some announcements of some things coming up. The big thing that you need to know is Stampin' Up! Is having their first ever Black Friday sale. It starts tomorrow, up to 40% off. Hi, Marianne. Thanks for joining me. Let me tell you what's 40% off. They said the paper trimmer. If you don't have our paper trimmer, you're missing out. It's a fabulous paper trimmer. It is 40% off, as well as all of our Stampin' alcohol blend marker pairs, okay? They are 40% off. That is unbelievable. That's a great time. So this week is a great time to get all those blends and the colors you want at 40% off. That just blows my mind. And then all of our ink bundles. So by an ink bundle, that means all the ink pads in a certain color family. So we have the Regals, the Brights, the Neutrals, the Subtles. If you buy the ink pads as a whole for all of those color families, those bundles, then you will get 40% off of that. We also have sale on cardstock and adhesives as well. Now they said select adhesives, so not even us as demonstrators know which adhesives are going to be on sale. But I would think Seal Plus, Tombow liquid glue would be good choices for you to stock up on during the Black Friday sale. So starts tomorrow while supplies last. So think about joining in on that sale. Okay. Now, let me get rid of these. My last Christmas event of the year, I think it says December 13th. Is that correct? Let me check my calendar here. It is December the 13th. Yes, that is correct. Woo! Okay, it's a Super Saturday event. For some reason, I had in my mind that Saturday was the 14th. It's going to be a morning class and an afternoon class. But here's the deal. You don't have to be here in person. You can take the classes to go. And I have to tell you something fun about the in-person class in the afternoon. So let me get rid of this. The morning class will be the Festive Friends class. It is at 10 a.m. Or you can get it to go. It'll be 5 projects, 4 cards, and a 3D project. I'm super excited about that. That will be the morning class, but you can also get it to go. Okay. And then in the afternoon, I'm doing the homemade treats, cards, and cookies class. This will be 4 cards. You can also get it to go. But if you would like, the afternoon people, the in-person people, can get a box of 6 cookies with frosting and sprinkles added on for $18. And that'll be super fun. So you can get the whole class for $43. Or you can just get the class for $25 and pay shipping if you would like to get it to go. So I think this is going to be a fun event that I'm super excited to share with you on that day. Okay. And last but not least, we're also having a Cyber Monday paper pumpkin sale. So on December the 1st, not only can you get Black Friday, but you can also get Cyber Monday. You can save big on prepaid subscriptions for paper pumpkins. So if you're already a paper pumpkin subscriber, from what I understand, you can pause your current subscription and buy the new prepaid subscriptions and get it at a huge discount. So think about that. All the links to all of those things that I just talked about will be in the description after this video is over. All right? Okay, so let's get started doing some ginger people. If you're here, hop in, say hello, let me know you're here. Good to see you here, Mary Ann. I would love to hear what you guys are doing for Thanksgiving this week. We are going to Jim's sister's in Abilene, which is about 2.5 hours east of us, and spend the day with them this Thanksgiving. Okay, so here we go. I don't know what my dog is crazily, I don't know what she's barking at, but she has been, I think we were gone the last 3 days, and I think she's hyped up. She's like really kind of driving me crazy today. Okay, so what did the people who got the Craft-Along get? They got the whole roll of this brand new chevron ribbon. It just came out as an online exclusive a couple of weeks ago, and we knew right away we wanted to use it for this project. You can also, they also got a full pack of the deer dots that we'll be using on all of our cards. Great colors there for Christmas. And a full color PDF of all the instructions. Our PDFs are awesome, if I have to say so myself. Give you directions, measurements, products used, supply lists, the whole gamut. And then a half a pack of this Christmas Tags and More designer series paper that I think, gosh, it keeps selling out, y'all, because it's just such a great pack of Christmas paper. Great Christmas designs. You get the ephemera in that, some tags, just a great DSP set. Okay, so we're going to start first with this first card that is here on the PDF, and I'm going to tell you where these things are in the catalog. So the Christmas Tags and More 6x6 mix and match specialty designer series paper, that's a mouthful, right, is $12.50. So if you got the Craft-Along to go, or if you're coming in person, hi Mary, you got a half a pack of this. Okay, so what that means is you're going to have to, you know, substitute out some of your ephemera, because you're only going to get one sheet of each. But here's the good news, that ephemera works for lots of different, you can use lots of different ephemera, right? And then the bundle itself, the Gingerbread Man bundle, is on page 54. Lots of great dies, a great stamp set. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks here as we go along. Okay, so let me put all of this off to the side over here. Look at all these dies that come in here. You get scarves, bows, hats, lots of candy, a word bubble, different faces that you can put on the Gingerbread Man, gumdrops, a hot cocoa mug there, just some great things. Oh, that sounds like fun, Mary Ann. I love that. Okay, so here we go. Here is card number 1. He's an adorable little gingerbread man. He's holding a lollipop. And this is part of that DSP pack. Garden green hat. And then this is the inside of the card. Okay, so let's put this together. If you are crafting along, keep in mind, although you will be making 2 cards, I am only going to craft one of them with you. The second card is made exactly like the first card, right? So, and then you can always pause and stop me when you're watching on replay, okay? So I have a piece of crumb cake that is cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. Okay, and then I have this piece of designer series paper. Now I'm going to tell you how I cut this. First of all, I laid it in my paper cutter this way and cut 3/4 of an inch off this crumb cake little border right here. And then I turned it this way and cut 1.25 inches off of this side and 3/4 of an inch off this side. So it will be 4 by 5 1/4 by the time we're done. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to grab my chevron green ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around right over where the two patterns collide right here. Okay, I'm going to kind of put my finger where that border is. I'm going to turn it this way, cut a piece of ribbon and just fold it to the back where you put that. I wonder if I put it too high. I think I put it too high. So let's try that again. Put some seal here on the back. I'm going to lay my ribbon across right where that border meets that top part. There we go. I'm wrapping it around and just pressing it in to that seal that I just put on the back. Okay, and this is going to allow me to kind of adjust where my bow is. And now that I've done that, now that I've wrapped my ribbon around the border, now I'm not sure you see this in your PDF because we made some changes at the last minute. We wanted to incorporate this ribbon into every card. Okay, so I believe maybe if you got it to go, your picture doesn't show this step. But you're going to love how it looks in the end. Okay, so just wrap that ribbon around that seam right there. Okay, and then we're going to get started on our gingerbread man. Now, I went ahead and loaded my gingerbread man onto my largest block. And we're using, I call it the eyelash face. Okay, so it's the eyes that look like they have a little eyelash coming out of each end. I'm going to grab my black ink pad. I'm going to ink this up. With Memento black ink. And then we're going to press it down onto this crumb cake cardstock. And if you got it to go, you should have gotten a couple of pieces of crumb cake cardstock to stamp on. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off here. Isn't he a cute little gingerbread man? Oh my gosh, I think he's adorable. All right, so clean this off here. We are not using him again today. We will use him tomorrow quite a bit. All right. Now, I'm going to show you a trick with these gingerbread man dies. Okay, so I am going to take my gingerbread man die and lay it on top here. Now, it has a little seam right here. I don't know, Tony, why you don't have sound. Anybody else out there having trouble with sound, let me know. I think Marianne has sound because she heard my question about what's going on at Thanksgiving. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to lay our die right like this on top of our gingerbread man, and I'm going to hold it in place. But I'm going to show you how to get a nice rounded arm on this side. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is cut this out right like that. So I'm going to go off screen here to my, well, let me just show you how I do it here. And I might need to cut this down a little bit so it'll fit inside my die cutting machine. There we go. And then this one, what happened to my other plate? Here it is going to go on top here. Okay? Right like this. Going to run it through, all the way through. Okay. So when I pull it out, it's going to look like this. So it's going to look like it has this little flange right here. Okay, so then we're going to take the other side of our gingerbread man. We're going to line this die up on it like this. I'm going to grab my Post-it note tape. Here, I'm going to pull off a new one. That one got a little bit of ink in it. Okay, like this. I'm going to just move it over. And I'm going to tape it down right there, just on that arm right there. Okay, right like this. And then I'm going to put it through. But you guys, I'm only going to run it until I hear it hit this arm right here. And then I'm going to stop it, and you're going to get a nice rounded arm on the other side. Okay, so here we go. I'm running it through. Here, let me pull my die cutting machine in here so you can see. I'm going to run it through just till I hear that snap at the arm, and then I'm going to pull it back. And then I'm going to check. Yep, look. Perfection. So now that arm has a nice rounded on that side as well. Okay? That's my trick of the day, to get a nice rounded arm on both sides, okay? All right, let me pull this out of the way here. All right. I've cut this little toboggan hat out of garden green, and it's going to go right on top of my little gingerbread man right here, and I'm going to use some dimensionals for that. So cute. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my deer dots, and I'm going to grab 3 of these red ones and put it right down the middle here of my gingerbread man. So cute, right? All right, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my gingerbread man on top of my card here, and I'm going to use dimensionals for that. Okay, so here, hang on, I might move it over just a tiny bit. Okay, right like that. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals. Are anybody else having trouble with sound? Let me know. I hate to do this whole video and people not be able to hear me. I don't know why that would be. Okay, so this is going to go right like that on the front. So cute, right? Okay, now I have some die cuts. I have the lollipop stick that I die cut out in white. And then I have the outside of the lollipop that I die cut out in red. So we're going to layer those on top. I'm going to show you this die real quick. So first I ran it through and die cut out the lollipop. And then I ran it through in red and die cut out this outside portion right there. Okay, so I'm going to add just a few little dots. Marianne, if you're listening. Okay, good. Thank you, Jackie. When nobody was responding, I was getting nervous that I really didn't have sound. So thank you, Jackie, for letting me know that you have sound. All right, there we go. There's my lollipop. And then I have this piece that came out of the center right here of the lollipop. And that is going to get adhered boop, 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 just a little dot. And we're just going to sneak him in wherever we want. I think I might sneak it in up here this time. Okay, right like that. The lollipop is going to have a dimensional on the round part here. Okay, but just a little liquid glue on the stick here. So cute, isn't it? Okay, so let's do, what do I want to do next? Okay, so I'm going to finish the outside. Now, this is what I was trying to tell you earlier. You will only get one of these little packages right here at the bottom, okay? Well, only one of those. But you can use other ephemera to decorate this corner if you want to, or just leave the package off. The original design did not have any ephemera right there, so you wouldn't have to have it at all, okay? The nice thing about doing these is that you can, the nice thing about the ephemera is that it gives you lots of creative options. Okay, I'm going to kind of lay this one going this way. Okay, how cute is that? I'm going to grab my ribbon and I'm going to feed it underneath my ribbon here that went across the front. And I'm going to tie it in a bow right here. And this gives me the ability to slide that bow wherever I want it to be. I call it a slider bow. Now, there are lots of people who do all their bows like this, which is fine. I sometimes like to wrap and just tie my bow too. But I think the first two cards today we're doing. And see, you can kind of slide it. And you have some options there. Okay. What else needs to come on here? I think that's it for the front. Okay. And then the inside, how cute is that? How fun is that? Okay. So then for the inside, you're going to cut a piece of this plaid paper 4 by 5 1/4. And it's going to go down on the inside. Right there. And then I have a piece of basic white that is cut 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 that is going to go right here. I love how that plaid shows around the edges there, don't you? All right, and so this is going to get stamped with Seasons Eatings, and we're going to do that in basic black. There we go. Clean that off. And then we're going to add some gumdrops to the bottom corner. And my gumdrops are going to be in red. Well, I said red, but I pulled out the garden green. So let me grab, it wouldn't matter. We could do garden green as well if we wanted to. I love the plaid too, Lisa. I hope you love these projects. Lisa's one of my loyal class takers to go. So there we go. You know, the red didn't really get at the very bottom of this, but I kind of like it. It kind of gives it a little bit of an ombre look without wanting to do that, but that's okay. They don't all have to look identical, right? Okay, and so Seasons Eatings is going to go right inside there. And I just realized I need to put a green dot in the center of my lollipop here. There we go. Cute. Okay, so that's it for card number one. Not too tough, right? Mr. Gingerbread Man on front, inside Season's Eating. So cute. I love the plaid on the inside as well. Adorable. Okay, so that's card number one for today. Card number two is coming up. So let me move some things out of the way here. Get everything where I want it. Card number two uses a lot of die cuts, but it really does make it a super fun card. So card number two doesn't use the gingerbread man, but like I said, it uses a lot of die cut pieces. So here is card number two. Sugar and spice and everything nice. All the candies are on there. And then the inside has just one of those little peppermint candies and a strip of DSP. So let me show you how to do this one. It's just a little bit fiddly with all the die cut pieces, but I think you're going to love it in the end. So here we go. All right. We are going to start with a piece of real red that is 4 1/4 by 11, scored down the middle at 5 1/2, okay? And then we have another piece of real red that is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and we used the dots embossing folder, this one, and we just embossed the very center of it, okay? So this is going to get put right on here. But before I do that, I am going to tie a bow around it here. And you want, let's just do it the way I usually do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more for a bow, right? Okay, I am going to run some Seal Plus kind of on my card base, and I'm going to fold this in half, and I want enough ribbon on this left side here to tie a bow. So that's why I folded it in half. Now this is going to get put exactly right on top there of that ribbon, okay, and that card base. But I'm going to put my Seal Plus on my card base because you guys know I don't like to push on my embossed pieces. So here we go. This is going to go right over the top right there. And then this is going to get wrapped around the front and tied in a bow over here on this other side. There we go. Right like that. Tie the ends. So Jim and I went to a wedding this weekend in Long Beach, not Long Beach. I've got on stage on my mind, so Long Beach. We went to LA, not far from Long Beach, and went to a wedding of some friends of ours, Rebecca and Julianne. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful venue up in the mountains, and it was just a lovely, lovely time. Okay, so these two panels here, right here, these two come from the back side or the front side, however you want to look at it. You have this panel right here that has all the tagged panels on it, okay? So the back side is the green and white plaid. The front side has all these different things that you can use as labels if you want, or you know, just what we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this DSP panel here. Hi GN, happy Thanksgiving to you too. A lot to be grateful for this year. So okay, so I just cut it in half. I just lined up where the two patterns meet in my paper cutter here. And I just want this panel that has the, move it over just a tad more. There we go. I want this panel right here. Now, the good thing is you can use any of these panels for the other piece, okay? So, and you could use other patterns here. You could definitely use this one on here as well, okay? So whatever you choose to use is fine. This is gonna go right underneath my ribbon right here, kind of off catty corner like that. So I'm gonna grab my liquid glue for this because it's going to attach to that embossed piece. And we need a really good adhesion on it. Okay, so this is going to slide under here and kind of go right like that. And then this one, I want the plaid side up, and it's going to go up a little bit higher, kind of right underneath it like that. Okay. I saw the post to uploaded. I don't know what that means. Lisa, I saw the post to uploaded. Download the PDF. Is that what you're saying? Anyway, tell me what you mean by that, Lisa. There we go. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And I'm going to put a little dot of glue underneath my bow right here, like that. Okay, now we have this banner that is cut from the Stylish Shapes dies, and it's going to get stamped with sugar and spice and everything nice in garden green ink. Oh, yes. Thank you, Lisa. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time. We are ready to stay home though, you guys. We have been doing a lot of traveling, and I'm ready not to travel for a little bit. I am not going anywhere until we go to On Stage in Long Beach in March. That is my next trip, and I love to travel, so the fact that I'm even saying this tells you how much traveling we've done and how much I am ready to stay home for a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back side of this one. And I want to make sure that it adheres to the paper as well as the ribbon. So I'm just going to add more than I normally would for a label like this, okay? There we go. So it was in Topanga Canyon, which is kind of between Burbank and Los Angeles. You had to go up this curvy mountain to get there, and it was just gorgeous. It was just gorgeous. Okay, sugar and spice and everything nice is right there. Now, all the die cuts that you need here. Okay, you ready? We're going to need that little scrap piece of white here in a second. You want to cut 2 white candy canes. They come on a die together, like this. So you get the outside and the inside. So you're going to cut them in white, and then you're also going to cut them in red, and then we're going to alternate the layering. So the white is going to go on the red, and the red stripe is going to go on the white. Okay, then you need again a lollipop, and you're going to cut a red out of the lollipop center. So you're going to get this outline in the red, and then you're going to get the die cut from the inside. The die cut from the inside is what's going to go on the lollipop right there. And then this round piece is going to go on this green peppermint candy in garden green. Okay. And then you've got this white piece here, the peppermint, and you're going to die cut the swirl that has, okay, let me show it to you. You get this piece here on the lollipop that cuts the circle. We're using the circle and the inset in red. And then you also get this other piece here. Looks like a pinwheel that you're gonna die cut out in red as well, okay? Okay, so these are all of our little die cut pieces. And we're gonna start layering them up here, okay? So my red stripe is gonna go on my white. Just using my fine tip liquid glue here just to put a few dots on there. Just make sure it adheres to the top. The glue is going to give us a little bit of wiggle room, okay? So it's going to help us get it all lined up really nice and even like that, okay? Then I'm going to do the same thing with the white. My kids are not going to be here for Thanksgiving this year. My daughter and son-in-law that live here in town are going to his parents in Oklahoma City for Thanksgiving. And my son and daughter-in-law that live in Iowa are coming down at Christmas. So it's our year for them for Christmas. So they'll be here for Christmas. And so that's why we're going to Jim's sister's. Not that we wouldn't anyway, but my brother who lives in Fort Worth also invited us to his house for Thanksgiving. But we don't think we want to do the 4-hour drive this time since we've just been so go, go, go. A 2-hour drive sounds a lot better to us. There we go. There's all of our pieces all glued together, okay? How fun is that? Okay, so not hard, just cutting them out can be a little fiddly, but one more thing is that we have this piece of basic white, and we're gonna stamp our gumdrops in 2 different colors, and then I am gonna die cut these out with you. So we're gonna stamp a red pair. There we go. And then I'm gonna clean that off. Always a good idea to clean your inks between changing colors, right? I'm going to clean this off and I'm going to ink it in garden green. Hey, thanks for all the love and the thumbs up and the hearts you're sending me. I appreciate that. It makes me feel like I'm not alone here for sure. Okay, and there's the green. Now, the nice thing about the die set here, you guys, is that they give you 2 sets of gumdrop dies, okay? So you can cut 4 at a time. And I'm going to grab my Post-it note tape here. There we go. I'm going to run it through over here off camera and get some gumdrops going. Okay. There we go. We have a red and a green and a red. I dropped the other green just now as I was taking it off the die cutting machine, and I don't know where it went. So we're going to do this color family this time, which is fine. Doesn't matter. All right, so here we go. We're going to just start layering these things on. Okay, I'm going to start with this peppermint stick right here, and I'm going to add dimensionals to this end and to the bar, but this curve right here I'm going to kind of leave open, and I'll show you why in just a second. So I don't know if the big ones are going to be too big. Let's see. We better use small ones. We better use our minis. Looks like it might overlap the end just a little bit. So here we go. I'm going to put one right there on the end and one here. I'm going to move that one over a little bit. And then right like that. One on the end and then one on the bar side, okay? And this one with the white on top and the red underneath is going to go kind of catty corner right here. I need to move it a little bit more, right like that, okay? The reason I don't want a dimensional right here on the curve is because it's already lifted by that label right there, okay? And then this peppermint here is going to get a dimensional or two on the back of the round part, okay? And it is going to overlap right down here at the bottom, right like that. Okay, this one that is red on top and white underneath, I'm going to put minis all around the curve, but just keep the very bottom of that kind of not popped, or you could if you wanted to. It wouldn't make any difference. Let's do it. Okay, so add mini dimensionals or cut your big ones in half, either way if you don't have minis. And this is going to slide right in here like that, okay? Your lollipop here is going to have a big dimensional on back, okay? And then I'm going to add just a touch of liquid glue right to the arm there. And then this is going to get tucked in. Let's see, right there, like that. Okay, now the only other thing I have to do here is add my gumdrops to the front and sprinkle on some of our deer dots. I think Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays, mainly, I guess, because I love eating. That's one reason, but it's kind of a little bit of a stress-free family gathering, right? Like Christmas always seems like a lot to me. And trying to think of gifts and food and presents and neighbor presents, right? It just always seems like a lot. So Thanksgiving is just pure fun to me. Like watching the Cowboys. And how about them Cowboys yesterday? Oh my goodness. I don't know if any of you guys hate or love the Cowboys, but we love the Cowboys and we also love the Chiefs. Okay, so we're a divided family. I don't know what we're going to do. My husband definitely is a huge Cowboy fan. My daughter and her husband are huge Chief fans. They've never played each other, I don't think, in recent history. Anyway, so I added a green dot to the lollipop and to the peppermint down here. And then we thought it would be nice to scatter on some pink here in the background. Get a little pretty and pink going. Maybe one more down here at the bottom. There we go. So that is the front of the card. How cute is that? So, I don't know if you guys know, but the Cowboys came back after a huge behind yesterday. And so did the Chiefs, by the way. They both did. Kind of lucked out there at the end. Okay, so we have a panel 4 by 5 1/4 of basic white here. And I'm going to add this little candy to the bottom right corner here, left corner, I guess, my other right. There we go. It's going to go right here at the bottom. This little strip that is the bottom half of that first DSP that we used. It's the bottom half of that. It's cut at 1/2 inch. And we're going to use the side with the greenery on it. There we go. Add a little liquid glue to that. It's going to go right here on this edge. Over here, I always cut it a little long and then cut it off. Too long is better than too short, right? And then this is going to get adhered to the back side and put inside our card right here. And then I'm going to add another green dot. These dots are pretty flat, so you can get away with putting them on the inside and not having it be too bulky. There we go. So there is card number 2. What do you guys think? So here's the first 2 cards in our craft-along for today. And let me grab the other 2. Here they are. Here's our other 2. How cute are they? So there's the first 4 cards of the Craft-Along. We have 2 more designs coming tomorrow. One is a awesome fun fold. They might both be fun folds. Let me take a second look here. Fun fold, fun fold. Yep, they're both fun folds. So join me tomorrow. I have 2 fun folds using the Gingerbread Man series. And I will be here tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So join me here at 10:30 tomorrow for the next 2 cards of the Gingerbread Man series. And you guys, the biggest deal that you need to remember is that Black Friday starts tomorrow. Great savings on blends, paper trimmers, ink pads, adhesives, and cardstock. Okay, so go to my Tuttle Up shop right up there, Tuttle Up shop, and TuttleUpShop.com, and load that card up and get those deals starting tomorrow. It is as supplies last, and so get them while you can. All right, so God bless everybody, and I will see you back here tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the likes, and God bless. Bye-bye.